Yo, what is up guys, and welcome to another Wild Rift video. And in today's video I'm going to be giving you guys the ultimate beginner's guide to the champion Nilah. And I'm going to be telling you guys how to use her abilities, how to combo her abilities, everything you need to know about her abilities, because there's a lot of little things with, you know, the third ability and everything that you really need to know to truly master this champion. I'll show you how to build Nilah, what runes to use, and everything. There's timestamps in the description if you just want to skip around. So let's get to it. So I want to say though, for people that are coming from PC, they've really simplified Nilah for Wild Rift. I studied Nilah and they've really simplified it for Wild Rift. So she's a lot simpler than PC Nilah. So let's start explaining. First of all, her passive. The only thing her passive really does, after an attack crits, so whenever an attack crits, Nilah heals herself for 20% of the damage she dealt. So if she crit 500 damage on the enemy, she'll heal up 100 HP. Excess healing is converted into an equivalent amount of shield that lasts for 6 seconds. Just so you know, like let me show you. Boom. You see? It takes that. And you know what's interesting? Let me show you something very interesting right here. The shield has no cap. Look, the shield keeps going up. The shield literally keeps going up. Only after 6 seconds will it start to decay. It decays. It doesn't go away immediately. It decays, as you can see. This is insanely broken late game. Obviously useless early game. But you need to understand, you have to build crit with Nilah. Like this already kind of shows you that Nilah is a crit champion. Now let's talk about the first ability. A lot of text, but let me simplify it to you very, very easily. First of all, the passive of this ability. You gain 35% of your current critical strike chance as armor penetration. Let me explain. So we're gonna go to the stats real quick. And if we look at armor penetration, it says 35%. I have 100% crit. 35% of that is 35% armor pen. Now, if we look at my build, I have 0 armor penetration. What does this mean? This means you don't need to build any armor pen items. However, you still can. If you want to, it skills right on top of each other. Let me show you. Let me just go back and show you. So having 35% armor pen unfortunately doesn't show us how much damage it reduces, but basically you can, if you want to, have 65% armor pen. So if the enemy heavily stacked armor, you know, not only your passive will give you 35%, you can also buy a Mortal Reminder, for example, and have 65% armor penetration if you want to. So I just wanna put that on the table for you guys right now. Show you how ridiculous that really is. So let's get back here. So that's the first part of the first ability that you need to understand. That's the passive. Now let's talk about the active of this ability. When you use it, what happens? Nilah cracks her whip blade in a straight line, dealing damage. Let me show you. It's like a whip blade, and as you can see, if you hit an enemy, you will do damage. This does AoE damage as well. As you can see, boom. As many enemies as you hit, you will do full damage on them. Just so you know. So it does damage. It does certain amount of damage. It skills with AD. However, every 1% crit you have increases the damage by 1%. So if you have 100% crit, this ability will do double the damage. So not only does crit give you healing, not only does crit give you armor penetration, crit also literally increases the damage of your first ability. This should tell you you should never build any lethality on this champion. Only crit. Only crit. You just want to be building crit. So, what's more to this ability? After Formless Blade hits an enemy, that's the name of this ability. If you hit an enemy with the whip, you gain 60% attack speed and 125 bonus range. And her attacks will do 100% physical damage to enemies in a cone for 4 seconds. Let me explain. So you get attack speed. Like, let me show you. If I hit this enemy, look at my range right now. You see my range? You see this range? If I hit this enemy, the range increases by quite a lot for 4 seconds. You can also see my attack speed increases a lot. So look at this. Boom, 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 boom. This is really a massive increase in attack speed. Just so you know. Another thing you need to know about this ability. If you hit your first ability, you hit enemies in a cone. And as you can clearly see, it does 100% full damage to any enemy you hit in the place. This is insanely, insanely strong. very, very strong if you can utilize this in team fights. So like if the enemies are stacked on top of each other, this ability is incredibly powerful. If you just hit the enemy and then you keep attacking them with that bonus attack speed, you can basically see this like Gwen. I really compare Nilah to Gwen a lot, and you'll see why when I use the second ability as well. So like when Gwen uses her third ability, she gets bonus range. When Nilah hits her first ability, she gets bonus range. And Gwen also gets a little bit more damage, more attack speed as well. Same with Nilah. But then for Nilah, it's even stronger because you also do full damage in a cone. A cone is like, you know, when you buy ice cream, it's a cone. As you can see, look, this is the cone. As long as this enemy is within this cone, they'll take full damage, full on-hit effect as well. It works like that too. So when Formless Blade is cast during Slipstream, we'll talk about the last part later, okay? I'll talk about this part when I reach the third ability. Second ability, very simple. See it as like a Gwen second ability. Look, you become... enemies cannot basic attack you, and you take less magic damage. Just like Gwen's second ability. However, from anyone on the map. You can still attack enemies while you've used your second ability. You can still use abilities and everything like that. So you'll be fine. Important thing to know. You get movement speed. But the important thing is this part right here. The duration of this effect. So normally the duration is 1.75 seconds. But the duration of the effect is extended by 1 second if you're near an ally. So if there are allied champions nearby, the nearest allied champion will get this effect as well. And the duration of the effect is going to be increased by 1 second. Let me show you. You can see the range when you click on this ability. You see, this is the range. Right now, like you can see my dummy is right here, my ally. If I use it like this, the duration is going to be 1.75 seconds. If I use it with an ally close to me within this range, look at how long the duration is. For the ally, by the way, the duration is only going to be 1.75 seconds, but for you it's going to be 2.75 seconds if you use it near an ally. This ability, let me explain more about this ability. So not only will you not take any basic attack damage from enemies, so like if an enemy Jinx is basic attacking me, this way she won't be, well, she can basic attack me, but she won't do any damage. Your ally won't take it as well. But remember, you also get movement speed. You can use this to dodge out stuff like a Blitzcrank hook, for example. If he tries to hook me, I could just use it to dodge his hook. Nilah has another thing to dodge a hook like Blitzcrank, which we're going to be talking about right now, which is the third ability. They really simplified this in Wild Rift, so it's just a dash. Nilah dashes forward for a fixed distance. You do damage to any enemy she passes through. Empowered attacks reduce the cooldown of this ability by 1 second. Let me show you empowered attacks, how that works. First of all, this is how the ability works. You can dash in a certain direction. You can dash over walls too. You can dash anywhere. If you hit an enemy, boom, you do a little bit of damage to them. Okay? That's how it works. So let me show you now what the empowered attack. These are the empowered attacks after your first ability. So, wait, give me a second. Empowered attacks are these. Boom, boom, boom. These are empowered attacks, okay? So, when I hit an enemy with an empowered attack, it reduces the cooldown. There we go. By 2 seconds, as you can see. I was a little bit confused right there. So as you can see, boom, 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 it reduces it by 2 seconds. And then if you hit multiple enemies with it, like that, it still reduces it by 2 seconds. It doesn't matter. So let's see. Hitting any unit will refresh this ability's cooldown. So even if you hit allies, you will get the cooldown again, as you can see. So cooldown cannot be refreshed again within 10 seconds. If you get a super low cooldown on this ability, you won't be able to refresh it again. So like, what I mean is, you know what's funny? I missed this part when I was making the guide. This is the same as League of Legends, but I thought it was not in Wild Rift, so I'm a little bit caught off guard right here. Let me just quickly read through it. Cooldown is further reduced by 1 second. Yes, so I already explained to you guys that the empowered attack reduces the cooldown. So cooldown cannot be refreshed again within 10 seconds. Hitting any unit will refresh this cooldown. If no unit was hit, okay. So if you hit an enemy unit, boom. You basically have 10 seconds. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Not 10 seconds yet. As you can see, if you use your ability again within 10 seconds, it's not going to refresh the cooldown anymore. But after 10 seconds, so if I use my ability now and I wait 10 seconds, so let's just wait 10 seconds. And use the ability again on an enemy or allied champion. So as you can see, now we've reached 10 seconds. It will be refreshed again. So important things to know about this ability. So it does refresh. For example, if you want to go in, I'm not showing you combos yet, but just so you know, you go in like this, you fight, boom, 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 and oh no, I need to run away, but I can't run away through this guy. Let's run away through my ally. You see? You can run away through your ally. Another thing you need to know about this ability. I told you guys that it goes through a wall, but let's say you want to escape here. There's an ally right here or an enemy. You can use it to go through a wall like this, and then you can dash again, even though you have 0 cooldown. Sorry, even if you don't have 0 cooldown, so in a normal game. Because remember, when you hit an ally, the cooldown gets reduced. Or an enemy, or any unit. It works on jungle camps as well. So you can use that to jump over the wall. So like for example, let me show you. Let me show you how this can be potentially useful, okay? So let me just put 0 cooldown on and off. So let's say I wanna, like I put this here just so I can see. I wanna juke an enemy. Let's say an enemy is chasing me. Choof, I go over the wall. He flashes over the wall. I'm like, I go right back over the wall. This is a way that you can really juke enemies very, very easily and effectively. Very strong. So like right here as well, I want to run away. Boom. Boom. You know, you can juke enemies super hard with the double dash. Okay, another thing you need to know about this ability. Now we're going to go back to the first ability. When Formless Blade, which is the name of the first ability, is cast during Slipstream, which is the name of the third ability, Nilah leaves behind a wave that is sent towards her, dealing an equivalent amount of damage to all enemy hits. Let me show you. So using the first ability normally works like this, but using it during your third ability will make a wave. It does the same damage as when you use it normally. You can also do it in an easier way by spamming your second ability twice, basically like how Alistar's combo works, you know, like Choof. You see, you just click on it 2 times, you drag it first, and then you click again just to use it. This works. And as you can see, you will get the cone as well. You don't have to hit the enemies like this. You can do it like this as well. As long as you hit the enemies, you will get the bonus of the first ability. Let me tell you something else about the third ability, which is insanely important to know. With the third ability, you can dodge stuff. So like for example, Blitzcrank hook. See if he tries to hook me. I want him to hook me now. See? See? He hit me, but he won't be able to hook me. It basically works the same way as Ezreal's third ability. If a Thresh hooks me, if a Leona engages on me, if a Blitzcrank hooks me, if a Pike hooks me, it doesn't matter. You can dash out of it with your third ability. If he hooks me. Like that. You see? It's easy. So that automatically makes Nilah a very strong pick into these hooking types of champions. You can literally just dodge their hooks. Okay, let's talk about the ultimate. Nilah, again, a lot of text, but basically, Nilah whirls her blade, dealing 500 physical damage continuously over 1 second. Look. That's the first part. That's Choof, the first part. You see that AoE damage? The second part does a little bit more damage and does it in one go. You see? Damage over time, and then boom, instant damage. This, of course, does AoE damage, as you can see. And as you can see, it heals you up by a lot. You not only heal yourself, because look, you pull enemies towards you, that's the first thing. But Nilah also heals herself and nearby allied champions by a percentage of the damage. This scales with, you guessed it, crit. It's 20% flat, and an additional 30% can be added through crit. So if you have 100% crit, the healing is going to be 50%. So you're going to be healing yourself and all of the allies that are close. And if you're all full HP, you get shield. Crazy. And it lasts for 6 seconds, this shield. Crazy. This is crazy. It also heals minions, by the way, for 10%. So that's a little bit of an interesting thing too. So now let's talk about some tips and tricks and combos on this champion. First of all, basic attack, first ability, basic attack. It's a basic attack cancel, so it can be very good to do maximum damage. So like if you're getting close to an enemy, basic attack, first ability, basic attack. Same with your third ability. Basic attack, third ability, basic attack. And then you can even do it again. And a very important tip about the third ability. You can aim it on an enemy, but you have to be careful. If I aim it on this enemy, like let's say I'm aiming it on this enemy and he's running away from me, and I dash like this, and you know he's running. If I don't hit him, it won't reset the cooldown. Even though I aimed it at him. Just so you know, very important thing to know. So let's say I'm aiming it like this, which normally will hit the enemy. But if that enemy is running away, you know, like he's running away, for example, I'll dash to him and I won't be able to hit him. It's basically like Twitch ultimate. You can compare it to Twitch ultimate. If the enemies are running away, they can dodge it. Your first ability, you can combo with flash, like that, you see? So another important thing to know, you can combo it with flash, just so you know. Your third ability, you cannot combo with flash, as you can see. And your the empowered thingy also doesn't combo with flash. If you use third ability with the first ability, it doesn't work either. Just so you know. So you can only really flash combo with your first ability. Ultimate, you can flash combo as well. You can also use your ultimate, you can also use your third ability and then instant ult. So like this. Wait. Like that. The way you do that is you just third ability and you spam your ultimate. It doesn't instantly use it, but that's the fastest way to ult, basically. You engage like that. Because remember, during your ult, you cannot use your third ability anymore. Another thing to know, you can stasis during your ult. And it will do full damage, full healing, full everything, as you can see. So if you're very low HP and you just need to do a bit of damage, you can ult and you can stasis. Let me put some dummies not close to each other right now. So yes, let me see. In PC League, you can use your first ability on towers, but unfortunately in Wild Rift you cannot, just so you know, so that doesn't work. Okay, second ability you cannot use while you're casting your abilities. So like, look, if I use my first ability, I cannot use it during the first ability, look. Normally, it should cancel the ability. Like normally, I think in what this is a glitch, but normally, like for example, when I ult, you can see when I ult, it turns off my third ability and my first ability. Look, it literally turns them off. But when you use your first ability, it doesn't turn off the second ability, but you can't use it during your second ability, or during your first ability, sorry. It will use it after. Same goes for your third ability. If you go in, it doesn't use it during your third ability. It only will use it after. Your ultimate is a different story, however. You can use your second ability during your ult. Look. During my ult, if I need to, I can use my second ability. So basically, if the enemies are very dangerous, you can use your second ability and engage. So second ability, third ability, and then basic attack, first ability, basic attack. Because in case you get stunned, you won't be able to use your second ability and you may be screwed. Remember that. Your ultimate, however, you can use your third ability, ult, and then second ability during your ultimate. And that also makes it a very, very strong combo. Let me see. EW. So there are some combos to do. You engage with your third ability, and then depending on how much time you have, you either have to spam your abilities, so like third ability, second ability, first ability, basic attack. So like this, third ability, second ability, first ability, basic attacks. If you have a little bit more time, you can use third ability, basic attack, and then basic attack, first ability, basic attack. So third ability, basic attack, first ability, basic attack, basic attack. This does more damage over time, but less burst damage. I don't recommend this one. I actually recommend skipping your basic attack altogether and instantly using your first ability. You can do it in two ways. You can go in third ability, first ability. This one is more reliable. Or you can go in Giga Chat mode, third ability, instant first ability. And let me just refresh right or put 0 cooldown on. Okay, as you can see, just to confirm for you guys, you have to actually hit the enemy with your third ability. Hitting them with the empowered third ability with your first ability doesn't refresh the cooldown. If you want to refresh the cooldown of your third ability, you're gonna have to hit the enemies like this. So the combo I recommend over everything is this one. Third ability, first ability, second ability if you need to, and then basic attacks. The combo that I don't really recommend, but that you can do, is third ability plus first ability instant, like this, and then you do the basic attacks. This way, you're not gonna have your third ability to run away instantly. Keep that in mind. However, remember the empowered attacks are gonna reduce the cooldown of your third ability very rapidly, so you can go right back in or right back out anyways. So earlier on in the game, when you have higher cooldown, you're gonna have to do the more reliable one, which is engage like this, and then, first ability, basic attack, basic attack. But late game, level 15, full build right now, you can be fine doing it like this, because the empowered basic attacks will get the cooldown back very, very quickly of your third ability, and you can do some crazy plays with it as well. So, let me see. QWR. I've written down all the combos, so I need to look at them to teach you. But the problem is, I wrote down PC Nilah's combos, and Wild Rift Nilah is a little bit different. That's the small problem that I'm having right here. But most combos start like this. This is most combos. Like that or like that. So you really have to master this combo of using the third ability and the first ability. That's like 90% of the combos. So let's talk about a bit more of an all-in type of combo. You go in, third ability, first ability, ult, second ability during your ult. So if you do it a little bit faster, it goes like this. Just like that, you see? This is a really nice engaging combo. You can also go a little bit further by going in once, and then another time, and then ulting. Use this to get to the enemy backline. Let me show you an example of how this can be very good. Let's say this is the enemy Jinx that has a 1k bounty, and these are all her front lines. How do you get to the Jinx? I'm gonna put 0 cooldown off, just so you can see this is legit. Use your third ability and ult. And I'm on top of the Jinx, and then I use my first ability. So the combo goes as follows. I want to reach the backline. This is the reach backline combo, okay? I don't want to deal with these dudes, even though you do want to hit as many enemies as possible with Nilah, but the scenario right here, you want to reach the backline. Third ability, ultimate, and then first ability, and boom, 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 boom. You get your third ability again, she tries to escape, you go right back at her. You see, you dash right back to her, and you don't leave this Jinx alone. Jinx tries to basic attack you, you use your second ability, try to have an ally close to you, and your second ability duration is going to be 2.75 seconds, and no ADC or no backline at all will stand a chance against you. However, I want to say I don't recommend you to play Nilah like that. In this scenario, it's much better to ult 4 enemies like that, because you will heal up yourself and your allies by a lot. Like if you do this like this, you will heal up yourself and your ally and give them massive barriers. It's very, very powerful. Also, something important, after you ult the enemies, as you can see, it puts them closer to you. So you can do some very cool combos. It puts them closer to you, instant first ability, and attack them in the cone. So you need to know, after your ult, you're giga buffed, because you put them all so close to each other. Try to use your first ability as fast as possible after your ult and demolish them in a cone. Demolish them, like absolutely no chance. So I talked about most combos right here. I even showed you the third ability right here. So we're going to talk about the build right now, the build and runes, because this is very important on Nilah. Since I told you guys already, you want to have a lot of crit. So let's talk about the exact build. We're going to be getting to it right here. So Immortal Shield Bow is a really, really nice item on Nilah. It gives crit, it just gives overall very, very nice stats. I thought about potentially starting with Berserker Greaves or even a Phantom Dancer, but I would say you want to go for Immortal Shield Bow. Collector is a bit of an interesting one. I don't think Collector is going to be good on Nilah. You want to go Immortal Shield Bow, Infinity Edge, and Phantom Dancer. Phantom Dancer is so good on Nilah because she already gets attack speed after her first ability, but Phantom Dancer is going to give you even more, and also the movement speed, allowing you to easily catch up to the enemy. Fourth item is very likely going to be something like a Bloodthirster. Remember, you get armor penetration from crit, so you don't need to build crit. You don't need to build armor penetration, sorry. And a very, very good armor penetration item is going to be the Bloodthirster, of course, because this is separate from her passive. You're going to be able to stack up the Bloodthirster barrier and her passive on top of that. It goes right on top of each other. And then as your last item, you can then choose, okay, how much armor does the enemy really have? If they really have a ton of armor, boom, Mortal Reminder, big boom. Otherwise, you just build a Guardian Angel. It's a very, very solid late game item, allows you to survive, and just an overall very, very good item. For the boots, you want to go for Berserker Greaves. It gives you a lot of attack speed, some attack damage. These are generally the perfect boots for Nilah. You don't really want to go for boots of dynamism because you want to have the attack speed. It's really about the attack speed. For the enchantment, of course, you go Stasis Enchant, because remember, you can Stasis during your ultimate and it will heal you up and your allies, even during your Stasis. Honestly, an interesting one could potentially be Revival, because this will increase your healing effect on you. Sorry, not on you, on your allies. But I think this is a little bit too much. On PC, Nilah maybe, but in Wild Rift not, because only your ultimate will heal your allies. So yeah, now that I thought about that, that's not worth it actually. You want to go for Stasis. For the runes, you want to go Conqueror. The popular opinion could possibly be that, hey, but Hells, why wouldn't you go Lethal Tempo? She's all about attack speed. You already have enough attack speed, guys. You already have enough attack speed. You don't need more. Go for Conqueror. You'll stack up the Conqueror so unbelievably fast because of how much attack speed she has. So you go for Conqueror for the bonus damage. Right here, you go for Brutal. You can go for Triumph as well, but Brutal is going to be very nice in the early game to bully the enemy. However, if you're against like a long-range enemy, long-range champion like Caitlyn or Jhin or Misfortune, you can choose to go for Triumph, because then you're not going to be utilizing your Brutal in the early game, because you want to, you want to stay safe from them. So then you can use Triumph, which is going to be much better in the later stages of the game. Right here, you can go for Coup de Grace. When an enemy champion has less than 40% health, you do bonus damage. However, Giant Slayer is also good if you're against tanks. Never ever go for Last Stand, because Nilah heals up a lot and she's very often above 60% health. So you don't go for Last Stand. You go for Giant Slayer or Coup de Grace. Right here, you can go for the Alacrity one. And it is actually good. It will give you a lot of attack speed. You can also go for Bloodline. I would personally prefer Bloodline because of the Omni Vamp. Really, really nice to go for. And then for the fourth one, you're gonna go for the Domination Rune. By the way, here this is Precision, but right here the Disgusting Rune is gonna be Sudden Impact, guys. Oh baby, this one will let you come online very early on in the game, because Nilah is a bit more of a late game champion, but when you have a sudden impact, your third ability will give you the sudden impact that you need. Also remember, you're very likely going to be using your third ability before your ultimate, so you're going to have 13 armor penetration before you ult, which is really powerful. You'll do a lot more damage, especially in the early mid game. For the spells, you go for Exhaust and Flash. So that is going to be it for the Nilah guide. I really hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you give the video a like if you enjoyed it. And yeah, let me know any questions and any thoughts you have in the comments, and I'll see you all in the next Wild Rift video. Bye bye.